Yeah.
Good morning, Giants. Welcome to Wake Up with Giants TV. Have you ever wondered how to embrace uncertainty? That rhymed. We got
It
a show
did.
for you.
No boy.
It's going to be one of those kind of shows.
Oh yeah, it's morning time. You know what that means?
Uh, it's
Bedtime.
morning time.
Bedtime for somebody in Australia.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
it's late there.
Yeah.
Well, just a couple housekeeping things. If you're not following us, pick us up on YouTube, subscribe, share it with your friends.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, paper book edition of the book is available globally now.
Globals.
Globals. And then, tomorrow night we're doing the Giant Masterclass. If you go to giantcreationacademy.com, you can participate in that. And so we're looking for teachers and parents with kiddos who are looking to teach them the principles of the Giants, the 12 journeys. Yeah, which reminds me, I got some work to do around that today. Yeah. Anything else?
No, we just got back from teaching 300 teachers.
You want to share a little bit about that before we dive in?
Sure, yeah, I'll be
Just a
quick, but
brief. Yeah.
just awesome. There was
Okay, that's good enough.
Yeah, it was huge and giant and awesome, and then it was over.
Yeah. No, keep going.
No, we got to go in and teach 300 teachers and walk through this path of the journeys that we just described in the master class. So if you want to be involved and get to hear what we taught them, you can sign up for that class on Wednesday night, Thursday in Australia.
Thursday in
And
Australia.
yeah, because it's in the future.
No, that was fun. Yeah, man, 300 highly engaged special ed teachers who are making a difference in lives. I think they have one of the hardest jobs in education. And man, they crush it. They're all giants.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, it was so I don't know. It's just surreal to be able to see that. And then we took a selfie. If you haven't seen that, we posted some pictures inside the tribe of giants. So you can look there, or maybe even on our Facebook walls. But it was pretty incredible to see 300 teachers hold up the book and be excited about it. So it was fun.
It's awesome. Well, good. Let's dive into uncertainty. This is one of the journeys in the 12 journeys. You were getting this quick, Nick. Yep. Yeah. It rhymes.
You're sick and you're quick and I don't know what
needs
else.
to flick, Nick.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about uncertainty. This is one of the 12 journeys that you're going to embrace as you step into the Giant's path. And so I've got a section I'll teach here just briefly on certainty, and then we can chat about it. There's a quote I love. It says, "Uncertainty puts us in a position of knowing reality exactly as it is and seeing what's possible." And another quote says, "When nothing is sure, everything is possible." That's from Margaret Drabble. So when we don't know the future, here's the beauty of this. We like to create from probability and certainty. We like the idea of knowing what's next. Mm-hmm. Right? Have you ever been to a movie and they're like, "What happens next?" And you're like, "Dude, just watch the movie. I'm watching it too. Like, just watch. It's going to get good." It's like, I don't want to go to a movie with you.
Yeah.
We want to do that. We want to know the future before it happens. We want to be able to plan for it, know every step, and not embrace that uncertainty. But reality is we're designed for uncertainty. Our brains are designed to bring in input and make predictions. Mm-hmm. At the same time, we can't fully see the picture looking forward. Steve Jobs said that you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only do that looking backward. That somehow the dots.
Yeah, the dots.
It is early, and I think my brain's still connecting here. Those dots are not connected.
Yeah.
The dots connect themselves as you step. And he says, you've got to trust in something. God, fate, karma, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Trust that the steps will reveal themselves as you step.
Mm-hmm.
What comes up as you hear that?
Well, you have a slide in your presentation that is Elsa from,
Yeah.
what is it? Let It Go?
Frozen.
Frozen. Yeah.
Yeah.
She says, "Let it go," and she's creating this staircase as she's
That
stepping.
sounded exactly like her
That
when you
was
just
that
sang
was
that. Yeah.
yeah, perfectly her.
Don't.
People at home are like, "What?
Oh, my ears.
Please don't."
Yeah.
Yeah. So she sings a song called "Let It Go," and inside of that, she's stepping forward with her hands out, and the staircase is being created as she steps.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of uncertainty, and she's starting to embrace her uncertainty. Oh, what? You have
What?
the slide?
I have slides.
That's
I didn't bring
crazy.
up Elsa.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, you embrace the unknown, and it's hard to see this. I know that's a little small for the screen, but this is the certainty cycle that I created in the book, The Art of Accomplishment. And it's the process that we go through when we're stepping into the unknown. Down at the bottom, it says, you have an insight, a thought, an inspiration, something that moves you to take action. I'm certain about uncertainty. Yes. Dry rain. Yeah. What a paradox. Dry rain. Loving it both directions there.
mm-hmm.
So when you have that insight, inspiration, you have faith to actually act on it, to do something with it. So you step out trusting, and you really step into this space of I don't know and somewhat speculation. So as you step into that, you'll see that over here on the side. That's a really big gap. And so you're stepping into the unknown. A lot of people come at that from the space of fear. But going back to those quotes, when nothing is certain, everything is possible. Like as kids, we talked about, superheroes. They'll put on a superhero cape and they are that completely. They're it completely. So everything is possible to a child.
Mm-hmm.
And then as adults, we start looking at limitations and, I can't step into the unknown. That's scary.
Hmm.
And so we create from that space of uncertainty and fear, not uncertainty and possibility. And so as you step into it and you start testing it, you start creating what's called a sense of certainty. And this is where somebody might get the idea. They go put a quarter in the slot machine at Vegas and they pull the handle and they win the jackpot very first round. They could say with a sense of certainty that every time they put a quarter in the slot machine, they're going to win the jackpot. That's a sense of certainty. What we know from testing is that's not true.
I've tested it.
Yeah, they've gotten a lot of my money. Shoot. Yeah, but I know, it happened once. It's got to happen again, right? So we start gauging our life based off that sense of certainty. Well, it happened this way once, and that can go in both directions. That can be useful or unuseful. The idea of unuseful being that it doesn't get us where we want to go. Well, I had this bad experience, so I have this sense of certainty that this is the way life operates. And so I'm afraid to move forward because I had one experience that showed me that that's a fearful thing.
Mm-hmm.
Versus testing it out and really getting to the certainty, because as you test it, you lose speculation. As you test it, you lose I don't knows, and it narrows down and it becomes this space of I can count on this thing happening over and over again, which becomes knowledge, right? I know something. It's like we can count on the sun coming up every day.
Mm-hmm.
We know it'll come up, so we can count on it. There is a possibility it won't come up. That is a possibility. The probability.
A dark day.
It would be a dark day, literally. Yeah. It would be something stops spinning, right?
Yeah. Does the sun make it, like, if the sun doesn't come up, is it not day?
It's not day. Yeah. That would be a not day.
That would be a not day.
Yeah. So as you gain knowledge around things you can count on, you learn wisdom on how to use those, right? And that wisdom creates your beliefs and your truths. And your truths lie at the center of everything you do. And those create your perceptions around the world and your judgments of the world. And then from there, you start teaching others, or you teach that concept to maybe even yourself, and you have an insight and inspiration. So you go through this cycle, right? Or somebody else goes through this cycle. Now, the beauty of this section here of the speculation, the I don't know, is there are people who have already gone through that, have the evidence that says, look, if you do it this way, you can bypass all of that uncertainty. They're called mentors, right? Now, there's people down here with a sense of certainty calling themselves mentors as well. What we want to look at is what is the evidence and what is it that's showing us, that there is something I can count on the other side of that. And so we can shortcut that process a little bit by grabbing a mentor, having somebody share with us their path rather than carving the path on our own. What are you thinking about as you hear that?
I was just I was actually laughing at Hugh in my mind because he was talking about how Alaska only has 250 days, 100 days without the sun, and
What
that
kind of
people in
world is
Washington,
that?
he said people in Washington rust because the rain is not very dry there.
It's not dry rain in Washington. It is wet rain.
Uh, so they must have a lot of certainty
Yeah.
that it's raining.
I can count on the rain.
The people in Alaska have a lot of uncertainty.
Yeah. I wonder if the sun's going to
There's a
come up
lot
today.
possible in Alaska.
So I love Nassim Nicholas Taleb. He's the mathematician behind The Black Swan. It's a great book on certainty. If you haven't read that, it's
Hmm.
huge. That book's probably, I don't know, 4 years thick. It's big. It's big,
Gauge it in years
right? Well, just
versus
reading
pages.
time. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it's a big book. I think it took me like 14
Okay,
months to
have
listen
a
to it.
4-year type of book.
It's a 4 year type of book. But he says we're empirical decision makers who hold that uncertainty is our discipline. Man, what a powerful thing. Uncertainty is our discipline, and that understanding how to act under conditions of incomplete information is the highest and most urgent human pursuit. That's something that we don't dive into as humans. Our goal is certainty. I want to operate
Yeah.
from what I know and what I can count on, even if that takes me only a little bit further into the future. Whereas our pursuits should be in the realm of the unknown. What do
People
we
want to be
not know?
safe. People want to like the homeostasis,
Yeah,
that they've got a good job, it's stable, they can get up, everything happens, the way that they've controlled it. I,
yeah,
I relate.
I relate. We're related. We're related
That's awesome.
somehow.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, there's more to speak on around this, but the reality is that when you embrace certainty, love it. Because that, going back to that idea, I really want to pull up the imagery for that one. Let me go back to
Hmm.
this. When nothing is certain or sure, everything is possible. Like going back to that childhood embracing of the unknown. When nothing is sure, everything is possible. And for many of us, it's the tendency to look at what's possible on the negative side. The truth is that the opposite is also available to you. And so when nothing is sure, everything is possible. Man, what's a possibility for your life in the uncertainty, in the unknown? I think of Indiana Jones when he steps out on that path and you can't see the bridge, that
Ah,
leap of
yeah.
faith, right? And he steps out onto the path and he has to step to see it. He has to trust that his foot is going to land on that bridge. And then as soon as he does, he starts seeing the path ahead of him. But that first step was the hardest.
Hmm.
So, what other thoughts do you have around this?
It, initially, it, it could probably bring up some feelings of unsure, like the self confidence, the pit in the stomach.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, that's what came up was a little bit of like that big, that lump in the throat, swallow hard. Like
Go for it.
okay,
Yeah.
but but knowing that that's true, knowing for me that that's true, the greatest things have been uncertain. Um, that have come in my life have been uncertain, and trusting into that, the greatest creations have come from that as well.
Man.
This has come from that. It's
Yeah.
not knowing that just having a book and a thought of the possibility of what it could be,
Yeah.
and then stepping daily, and not a ton of time. I mean, it's been couple years, year and a half, 2 years, but little bits every single day, small steps every day
Yeah.
towards the vision of what this can be or it could
What
be.
what a blessing uncertainty is, because if I had to look forward and I could see the future of everything that you and I had to do to create where we are today, and I had to see everything we've done to get here, I would be overwhelmed and likely quit. And so thank God for uncertainty and a little bit of blindness in the path, because I might get overwhelmed.
Mm.
And
Oh yeah.
so yeah, stepping into that step by step kind of makes it fun, right? Because you imagine what might be, and then we step into it and we test it rather than knowing the whole path. Because if you saw everything that we do every day to create what is right now,
Hmm.
man, you'd be mind blown a little bit. You might go back to bed because that's a little bit too much, right? I would.
Sounds wonderful.
Yeah. Well, thank you
And
for
I
the
just
darkness.
yeah, I mean you're 100% right, Nick, that the I look back at all the things that we've done added up.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It is a ton. And but in the space where we were,
Yep.
we couldn't handle all of that at once. We needed to learn as we stepped, and then something else would appear, and then
Yep.
our capacity would grow, and then we'd step again, and our capacity would grow. We didn't know that there would be a tribe of giants. We didn't know that there would be a league of giants. We didn't know that there would be Wake Up with Giants TV. We didn't know that there would be Wake Up with Giants radio. We didn't know we'd be teaching 300 special ed teachers in the room where at the end they're so excited they all hold up their books and become raving fans. I had no idea.
Yeah.
We had a thought about it. We thought,
Yeah.
100 million lives, and that even evolved.
Yeah. No, yeah. Yeah. That's evolving too.
Yeah.
Constant evolution. So
So,
step into the unknown, embrace it, love it, because that is where your growth is. I'm certain in uncertainty, like Steve Hardison says, I'm certain in uncertainty, dry rain. Like it's the paradox of loving the unknown. So do it. So any if you have additional thoughts, please keep commenting, because this will be a dialogue that could really serve you today. And then a reminder, just tomorrow night, Giant Creation Academy, let me just pull that up, .com. Go join us on that. So it's in the future. It's tomorrow night or 2 days from now in Australia, but a beautiful thing, because we're going to teach the 12 journeys. And if you're a teacher or a parent, you have kiddos and you want to find a way to teach them the journeys, this is where you want to be. So make sure that you're a part of that. And so back to stepping, man.
boom, go step.
Boom. Thanks, Giants. Make it a giant day, and we'll see you in the next video.
Love you too.